Alright guys, it's back on the trail. Here we go. Down here. Holy moly, I don't have brakes. Oh my gosh. No. Hey guys, welcome to Campin Chronicles. I'm just getting all set up here. I'm already ready to go. It's 9:19 in the morning right now. We're getting ready to go. I don't have my camera stand right now because I already packed it. It didn't really fit my backpack, but it's sticking out the end, which is just fine with me. Just dip it up. Nothing's really gonna fall out of there. I already have like shoes packed in there and everything else. Everything's just all ready to go. So I'll see you on the way up. Hey guys, we're all packed up now. We're all ready to go. We're just waiting on a little bit more stuff to get ready. I got everything all ready up. Got a tight squeeze in here. I've got the camera stand with right here. Got it in my backpack. It doesn't fit in there because it's a little bit too long. So kind of a bad one there, but I still managed to squeeze it in there somehow. So I'm gonna see you on the road, guys. We're all ready to go. We're going to Beatrice Lake Campground up by McCarthy Beach State Park. It's a state park, so you can't really do lots of stuff there, like digging around or any of that kind of stuff. You gotta be real respectful at state parks, so I'm gonna show you that. McCarthy State Park. This is a long driveway for me. It'll be a pretty big road trip, so I'll show you a few towns we go through. So stay tuned for the ride. See you guys back on the ride. Hey guys, quick stop here. I had to get some ice and that kind of stuff. I got my camera stand working. It's in my backpack right now, but I got to kind of show and that kind of stuff. Kind of cool one. I like that a lot. Anyways, guys, I'll show you. Since I got this camera stand working, stuff is gonna be much easier. It's a little jam packed in here. Like whenever I try to reach for something, I got a newspaper, so I'll be reading that on the way too, in case I get bored. But my dog's going a little bit crazy right now. If I see some people walk. Oh, my dad's in the back of the truck. He's getting some ice ready. Anyways, we'll just have to find out what happens on the way there. guys, just a quick update here. We're at the campground right now. My parents are actually walking back. You know, we're all checking out spots, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna see you back when we get everything all set up and we pick out a spot. All right, guys, I think we locked down the spot. As you can see back there, my parents are checking it out, thinking it's pretty good. This is probably the biggest spot here on Beatrice Lake. We looked through all the spots and they're all really tiny and all really small. There's not a lot of offshore fishing opportunities, so you might not get that done on the video. You might not get to see much of that. You might see a few instances. My dog's kind of going a little bit crazy right now. I don't know why. There's no reason, but you know, I think this is gonna be the spot. It looks really nice. There's 2 places for tents, so it's gonna be really nice, and you know, we get a really good view of the lake. So I'll see you then. All right, guys. So we locked down the spot. This is gonna be the one. You know, we thought we were gonna go to a different one, but number 8 turned out to be the best. So let's get out. All right, guys. So here we go. Here it comes.
Let's go look at the other place real quick.
Here's campground number 8 for a camp spot. We're gonna go look at another one. I'm not sure why. This is kind of a cool spot. Spot number 11 right here. You kind of need to walk around a little bit in order to get to it. But I think this would be kind of a cool spot. I like this one a lot. We might actually choose this one over number 8. So here's a noise thing right here. Pause that if you want to read that, and then there's tent camping only, and then you can't go back here with 4-wheelers or motorized vehicles. You know. So here's I'm not sure what campground number this is, but this is one of the walk-in sites. We have like 3 different campgrounds on mind, or campsites, and then you got a few ways to get down to offshore fishing. So lots of offshore fishing opportunities. You know, and you're kind of like off into the distance right there. That's kind of washed out. Oh, I don't know if you guys just saw that. I got it on camera a little bit, but there's a big swan down there. That's actually really cool. I'm gonna show that slow-mo zoomed in because I got that on camera. You know, I just like camping, and so far I haven't seen any bugs, so it's also another good sign, except for maybe some horseflies. I don't know, there's something circling on me. All right, guys, unfortunate one here. Somehow we can't stay here. Beatrice Lake is all the sites are booked that we want for some reason. This is all first come first served, but you have to reserve in order to pay. And you know, it's just kind of a difficult one. I'm not sure why this is. So we're gonna go up to Echo Trail Campground. So I'll see you on the road. Hey guys, welcome back. I just puked a bunch, and we've been to 3 different camp spots. We've been driving for like 5 hours, 200 miles. You know, I'm really tired. I'm ready to go. I don't even know what I'm gonna do right now. You know, I just feel like I'm gonna be done. You know, go home. But Campin Chronicles, we never give up. Campin Chronicles, we continue. We push. We go forward until we're done, or until there's no more campsites left. I mean, I'll just camp in my backyard. I really don't care. But it looks like we found a really nice spot, and it's open, and it's good. No reservable. It turns out like every single spot that you could go to was all reservable, and they were all reserved, and there was no cell service out there. So it's just kind of a difficult one. You can't get it to work. There's no cell service. There's nothing. Yeah, my mom and dad are talking to a campground host right now so we can get that spot. So hopefully we can lock that in, get that done. And offshore fishing opportunities is that spot too, so I'm just so thankful that we're stopped. You know, I ate a bunch. You know, we just figured we would go on straight to Beatrice. So I ate an entire bag of chips because I was so hungry. I only ate like a few Eggos this morning, and you know, got that done. And you know, it's just kind of a bad one. I don't know. And then we went all the way up to Orr, and then we circled around, go to the Echo Trail, and then we're like, oh, Echo Campground will be the one to get her done. And we go there, and all sites are reserved. We take like 4 loops around in there, can't find a spot. All of them are reserved, and then there's like one campground that's open, or camp spot that's open. That's it's all blocked off, you know. Or we're sitting right next to campground host, and we have a really reactive dog, so kind of crazy. But anyways, guys, I'll see you back. I'm gonna get everything set up. Oh man, there's a lot of bugs out here. Alright guys, we're all set up. We're all ready to go. I have my tent going on here. You know, I actually like this spot way better. When we showed up at Beatrice Lake, it was a long, dusty trail in there. And, you know, we were like, oh, it's gonna be really rustic. It's gonna be really pretty. And then there was a few walk-in sites that we really liked. But all the other campsites were just on the gravel road. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. I know for sure I'll be writing a 1-star review there. I don't like that at all. 1-star review on that place, and then on top of that, to make matters worse, when we find a good spot, one of the walk-in spots, you know, we're looking for fee box, and it turns out you have to pay on a website, and there is no cell service around there. I mean, there should at least be a cell box. I'm sure a small cell tower near there. I mean, it's pretty easy to just build a small monopole tower out there. You know, I don't see why they don't need to do that. So then, when we couldn't find a spot there, like, all right, everything's gonna be all right. Our next stop is the Echo Trail. So Orr, it's about an hour away. So we'll travel up there, all the way to Orr, and then we take the right there to go to Bike. And after Bike, we turn on Echo Trail, because it's right there. And, you know, we start doing loops around Echo, and it doesn't work. There's so many spots there, but all of them are reservable, and all the first come, first serves are even taken, and it's just really bad shape. And then we talked to campground host about it, because the website says that all the sites are, there's most sites there are first come, first serve, and the campground host says that he's been begging the people to change the website to make it better for people who want to stay there. And he says that he's been getting a lot of mad campers coming there because he doesn't like that. You know, understandable. I don't like that at all. And then to make matters worse, we go like, all right, this is not going to work. You know, the Echo Trail, it's very windy. It goes like this, and you know, you can't really fly through there very fast, you know, when you're trying to get to places, you know. And on top of that, it's kind of busy because it's the only way from Ely to Orr. And then there's another campground called Lake Jeanette there. You know, it's really pretty. Nice lake right there. And then here we go, and then we just go there. There's like 2 campsites there. It's not even that good. And all of them are taken unless you want to camp on a swamp. I mean, that's pretty good. If there's even a single bit of rain, you're going to get flooded out. So, yeah, kind of bad one there. I don't know what else would be the best. And then we took a drive, and then we were thinking about going to Fensky, because that's also along Echo Trail, and there was a few other campgrounds like Pickett Lake. It's another campground there. That was quite a ways though. It was off the Echo Trail, and you know, that kind of stuff. If you guys could let me know in the comments, because I saw a lot of this on the navigation app, that there was a lot of trails that start with NF or NE. If you could let me know what those mean, that'd be sweet, because I'd like to know. And then we get off of the Echo Trail. You know, I'm feeling really bad. a puke on top of it to make matters worse. Instead of me actually puking it up, it all came through my nose instead, so it was just, I don't know. Then we got to Ely, turned down Highway 1, and then came to Birch Lake. You know, Birch Lake always the one to get her done, you know. I'm going to show you around the campsite. My tent's already set up. If you watch my original Campin Chronicles video, you probably know all about my tent. It's basically just standard size. You know, I like this one a lot. They said this is like 4-person, but I don't know how you'd fit 4 people in here. 2 people at max, I think we could fit in here. Even if you were sleeping on the ground with sleeping bags, because you still need a place to set your stuff. I still have yet to get set up. In here, like, I'm fairly set up, but I'm still not all the way there. And I got a new sleeping bag. I don't know if you can see. Really nice. I'm not gonna lay in it right now because I'm not in the pajamas. And I brought a few Joyride candies with, so I'll showcase those. But the problem is that there's been bear sighting here. I can't have food. Bear smells food. That's gonna be a bad one. I don't want that to happen. So also I got an extra throw blanket there. Got a few gingerbread man. I like this one. My favorite throw blanket. My favorite throw blanket. I brought a few combs with too, so my hair doesn't get messy. Here's the Kindle charger from movie screen. There we go. I almost got a little bit scared there, but I didn't bring my iPhone charger, but it's right here. And that'll be not that long ways home. Here's battery pack charger. Here is a USB to plug-in converter so that I can charge my battery pack, and here's my battery pack. Got some extra hats and that kind of stuff. I actually wore this hat on my original Campin Chronicles video. Then I got some gloves right here. Then got a compass with mirror and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, right there. Nothing left in there. And then we got a book. I talked about how I was gonna try to read that. Magazines, all this kind of stuff. And then I brought mystery tackle box things so I can read through these if I get bored. Then I have this. I planned on using these, and there's a trivia book. I like Minnesota a lot because it has lots of lakes. They're good. Sometimes lakes can make you mad. Got a bundle of rope. Got this. You know, I like that at nighttime, even though I didn't snuggle with them. Then I got a few medical supplies. I didn't even pack these in here. These were just auto in here. Got chapstick. And then I got my deodorant and all that kind of stuff that you need for essentials. But I don't think I'm going to need any of this stuff right at the moment here. My phone's kind of going dead a little bit. I already turned off cell service, so nothing should be happening. It's too extreme. Oh man. I think I didn't even puke that hard, but I just feel drained, you know. And luckily I didn't have to puke anymore after that. So that was a good one. I'm gonna starve though. I haven't ate lunch. I mean, I haven't even eaten anything today except for an Eggo. My dad hasn't even eaten since yesterday, so we're gonna get him fueled up as soon as possible. Got a few lights here. Got this Coleman lantern flashlight. I got this. This is brand new. Oh, that's a bright one. Holy cow, that's a bright one. Wow. That guy almost blind me even from staring at it at an angle. Anyways, guys, I'm going to show you around campsite. And, yeah. Alright, guys, so here's the campground tour. Turns out we have neighbors. I'm going to show you campground sign here. This isn't reservable spots. First come, first serve. But use reserve sign. So here we go. So there's a few down trees in there. They're all pretty green for some reason. If we head over this way, there's not a lot this way except for just some dirt. Here's the green tent. We have that. Here's my parents' tent right here. We're getting things set up. It turns out there's a mouse nest over here, something that probably another camper threw in here. I don't really know what's in here. I haven't really explored that much. I kind of want to. A little bit. Probably just going to go a little ways in here. Because I see an orange flower and I kind of want to see it a little bit. And it seems like there's anthill over there. Kind of cool area. I like this a lot. This is kind of be cool for building a little small fort. But you at least have to take it down because leave don't trace. That's a rule. Alright, so here's my tent over here. You probably know all about it if you watched my videos. And then we got a picnic table over there, and that kind of stuff. All right, if we go up this beaten path here, this is pretty cool. I like this. I think there was hiking trail in here. I'm not sure. It's kind of like Whiteface Campground. I'm quite a ways from all campgrounds I go to, but it's when I go over there, it's kind of like that, where there's a hiking trail that goes along like the edge of all the campgrounds. Don't know, might be a squirrel in there. It's kind of a bad one. But anyway, so there's a few fishing spots. I like this fishing spot a lot. This is kind of a cool area if you wanted to have a picnic. See? Got some nice even spots right there, and then right here. I'm kind of cold right now. I don't know why. But I like this area a lot. This is kind of cool. Some weeds and lily pads and that kind of stuff. Definitely gonna be trying for bass here. Might pull frog on. I'm not sure. Looks really cool though. I'm gonna test out with just a standard jig and cast out there a few times just to make sure that there's nothing too bad out there that I can get snagged on. Because it looks like there was a few logs out here. And then there's another trail. Also chestnut-sided warbler. I'm hearing all the birds I normally hear near me, so I'm not sure why that is. I'm quite a ways away from me, so probably about 2 hours or so. And yeah, I'm staying here for a few days. 2 nights so far. We might reserve for 3, but I don't know. Then over here, I kind of like this area a lot. It's kind of cool. This would be good for walleye fishing if people rappel on. But you gotta be careful because you don't want to get hurt when you, especially if you try to go on that log or rock. I meant. Oh, look, a lily pad. That'd be kind of good for bass fishing. I'm not sure if there's any bass here. That'd be kind of cool to find out. You know, I have an idea. You know, I don't feel like there'll be any bass here because it's a rock bottom. I'll show you a detail here. It's kind of rock bottom. I'm not sure why that is. I'm just gonna see how easy it is to get to this. Oh, there's lots of nasty stuff over there. Spider webs, almost wet. I think I can make it to the rock. Alright, I'm on top of rock, guys. Kind of cool. I like this a lot. You get an entire view, plus the neighbor's boats right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at this. It's a great view, especially if you're after those fish. You could probably look down, try to see if you could find any of them, and then you can try bobber fish. This would be a nice bobber fishing site, but you know, at Beatrice Lake, I was kind of sad because I liked it a lot. A lot of offshore fishing opportunities. With here, hold on, let me jump. Oh. Here it's kind of difficult just because, you know, I don't know, it's just kind of a difficult one. I feel like, I don't know how this goes. Seems like kind of a trail. I don't know if I'm gonna go in there. Also, just letting you guys know, there was a bear sighting, so I have to keep all my stuff in the truck. That's food. Why? So it's kind of a sad one because I want to keep my Joyride candies in my tent, but you know, bears can actually smell a bag of potato chips from a mile away, so that's pretty impressive there. Definitely don't want a bear coming in my tent. It'd be kind of a bad one. But yeah, I'm all set up. We're pretty much relaxing now. It's been a few hours. We've already driven 200 miles across the entire Minnesota between Itasca County, St. Louis County, and you know, Lake County. All those kind of crazy one. Looks like there's a mini trail over here. I'm not so worried about ticks just because it's not really grass, it's mostly leaves. So, my eye keeps itching for some reason. I think I got a bug bite on it, which is kind of a bad one. I just swallowed a bug. Oh, that was just horrific. That's kind of a crazy one. I don't want bugs going in my mouth. I just don't like it. I have to breathe with my nose. I just literally got a bug. Yes, I don't know. I don't like bugs at all. They're really annoying. Especially when you swallow them. Which is just kind of annoying. Another offshore fishing opportunity. Looks like this is kind of just a place where somebody was fishing. But you know, I wouldn't call this the greatest because there's a tree branch literally like hanging in the water. Yeah, it looks like people have tried to fish here though, because there's like a little like step down. Also, I see a giant hole there, so that might be hornet's nest. I don't want to bother with that at all. Oh, look, guys. Look at that. There's jet. Don't know if you guys can see that. That's kind of cool though. What is that thing? It looks really weird. Don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. It's like a silent helicopter or something. I don't know what that is, but it's the weirdest shaped helicopter I've ever seen in my life. Well, I'll see you back in a few hours when I have campfire time or something else going on. Alright guys, going fishing right now. I got a new pole. I didn't show it in my birch lake video, which is actually the lake I'm staying at. Here it is. Nice cherry wood rod. I put there's a tip on it that's a little bit different than original. My dad doesn't like it. There it is. I hear lots of birds out here. That's kind of a good one. I'm gonna put on plastic though, cause I need to use them up. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna tie plastic on. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're all tied up here. There we are. Yum plastic on there. Yum plastic black speckle. I like that one a lot. But I'm waiting for the right bait to use it on, and this one's a black eagle claw jig. I had this on here from original time I was out here. I don't want too much going on, because I don't know what kind of materials out here for bottom and structure, and I don't want to run into a snag. So I'm kind of putting on something I really don't care about that much. That's why I'm not even casting that far. And there's also lots of trees in the way, and I have a long pole. So it's kind of an unfortunate one. Yeah, there's lots of looks like a very stick-like bottom. It's not lots of bugs out here also. Kind of like that a lot. However, I did put bug spray on, so if I put my hood up, that should be a little better. We bought some new bug head nets, so I have to come down here later with one of those on. It's kind of hard to cast far with this lure because it got such long fishing rods. I keep waiting to run into a nice northern bass out here. Lots of weed-like structures. Even kind of hard to pull a fishing rod, so hopefully none of that happens. I already got a weed on here. It's kind of an annoying one. However, most of the stuff that I can get snags on, I can pull out. So I'm kind of lucky one. Can't do anything with this because it's such a long pole and such a kind of a light jig too. So you know, I was doing this with this pole on the landing. I was waiting for my dad to get the truck. And I actually got a bite. I think a fish just tried jumping at my lure. Oh man, I just pulled a bunch of seaweed. Holy cow. Look at that. That's a lot of seaweed, or weeds. I'm not really sure what these would be called, but there's a lot of them on this lake for some reason. And there's some really noisy campers coming from that way. I heard lots of laughing. Hopefully they're not doing that all night long. I know some campers that do that. So please don't do that. Respect wake up times and silent times. unfortunate one because unfortunately it's 10 to 8 here for quiet times. But that means no early morning offshore fishing opportunities, so not sure on that one. So see you back when I get a fish. Alright guys, first snag here, actual snag. You can see where it's coming from. Alright, come on. Oh my. I don't think I really want to fish here that much. Alright guys, so new lure here. I lost that other one because I got lost into a snag. We're trying this go. You can hear the veeries really well. They're really going insane. I like that a lot. This is my favorite bird. If you watch my June monthly talk, you probably know that. That's kind of a weak one. I kind of wish I could have done that a little bit better, but it still casted farther than my eel claw. So, we'll have to see if we get any blow-ups. It's an interesting one to see. If we get any, that would be pretty cool. I've never got a fish on a topwater lure. I've tried them a lot, too. It's kind of an unfortunate one. But, yeah, we'll keep on trying. Don't know what we're going to get. Probably snag. That's a really far cast. All these bugs are really just mean. See you back when I get fish. Oh. Here we go, guys. What's this? We're hooked up. No. There was a fish. I set the hook. Oh. There's a blow up. Oh, did you guys see that? I hope you did. I don't really have the best camera view because it's jumping around out there. Let's cast again. Maybe we'll get them this time. I set the hook and everything, but unfortunately, I don't think these frogs have the best hooks on them. That was really cool, though. We got a blow up, guys. Hopefully, we'll get them. Alright, guys, we're heading to a new spot. One I showed you earlier with the big rock. Hopefully, we'll get something there. I don't like that other spot. Lots of snags. I don't know about this frog either. It's a cool lure. Gets the fish, but I can't hook them. It's kind of a mean one, so I don't know. Alright guys, we're on this rock here. I'm not going to be fishing it there. I'm going to be fishing offshore. But, hopefully you'll see some action. Might be good for like a topwater bug. Like this area. Alright guys, we're gonna go see what the vault toilets look like. I was kind of interested in seeing how clean they are. I always just like to know this stuff so that when I do have to go, it's not as bad and I don't have to I just know what's going to happen. So let's see what they look like. so they're right next to our campsite, which is kind of convenient, but also kind of bad because if we get a wind, it might not be the most pleasant smell. So let's see. Guys, walking up here, I want to know what it looks like. So we have all this kind of stuff right here. Smoky Bear, just the building, that kind of stuff. So let's see. Looks like I have a cleaning checklist. Smoke-free, all that kind of stuff. I really have to read here. But wait a sec. What's that? I think that's a spider. I guess. Well, let's see what I get out. Toilet paper, all that kind of stuff too. So it's kind of cool. Well, it was really clean in there. I liked it a lot. One of the most cleanest vault toilets, and it looks like they actually do clean this vault toilet here. Kind of excited to see that. You know, I don't really get that very often with vault toilets. There's no really nasty spiders in there. However, there was a spider on the toilet seat. Alright guys, just going to check the point here and make sure that there's nothing going on over here. I don't want anything going on. And just in case there is, it's a good time to check. I wish my phone had night mode. You guys will be able to see. My dad's talking about getting a new phone too, so that'll be pretty cool. There's a guy. I'm not really sure. He's out that way or out towards those trees a little bit. And there's radio blasting at full volume, you know. Let's see, have a good night video. Alright guys, going to my tent now. It's good night time. Everybody's going to bed, including my parents, so you know, all equal bedtimes. I do like that. But those are trails hanging up pretty good. Shake her shoes out before in. Alright guys, well, it's a good night time. You know, I had a great day today. Even though we traveled 200 miles just to get here, you know, kind of crazy. Turn out how we ended up at Birch Lake here. You know, this was last resort. We were going up to Quishway, and then after that, we couldn't find something. We were done. Nothing was going on. So, yeah. You know, with Gadot being closed from the fires, I think that just actually just triggered more people to come to these campsites, because these are like the next step on the list because they're all pretty popular. So, yeah. Not really sure there. It's quiet times right now. You know, I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm tired, and I'll see you back in the morning. Okay guys, it's around like 5 in the morning. I don't even know if you can hear me over these squirrels. They're just going insane. Just an annoying one. They actually woke me up, so I can't even sleep until 6. Hey guys, welcome back. Pretty good morning here. Just woke up. You know, actually I did wake up at 5 and got back to sleep a little bit longer. Around 6:30 I started editing up my video. Now the only thing I got left is like fishing and campfire time, that kind of stuff coming up. So it's a pretty good one. So I'm gonna get that all organized up and I'll see you back. Alright guys, it's wake up time now. I know that by my dad's generator. Probably past 8. Not really sure what time it is. It's 8:12. Yeah, wake up time right now. Probably a lot of people are making their morning coffee right now. Seeing that bit, but seeing that on my parents because they're always into coffee, and I know a lot of people are. But that's the joy. I'm not a coffee guy. I know most people in my school actually drink coffee around this age. I can't imagine, it just tastes so bad. I've even tried to sip before and I can't stand it. Also, my dog might be coming in here tonight. That all just depends. We just want to test out the first night, see what's gonna happen. If dog comes in here, it's gonna be kind of cool because I like my dog a lot. I'll probably put her bed right here or something like that, like right here, and then move my table and everything else, like a camera stand all the way over there. That'll be a good one. I like my dog a lot, but she can be really annoying sometimes, and I'm worried about if she won't settle down. My mom was complaining about her last night. Oh, she wouldn't settle down, wouldn't go to sleep, and she couldn't sleep. So, maybe I won't want her in here. I'm not really sure what the big idea is going to be. I'm going to try to go do some early morning fishing with some Gulp Alive. Jerk my nose with Kalen's. Sparkle eye jig or Google eye jig. I have nice Kalen's. I'll put on my cherry rod and do some Kalen's jigging with some Berkeley Gulp. So I'll have to see for that. But we're cooking breakfast right now. I actually don't know what time that is. I'll probably do a video on it though. So yeah. See you then. Alright guys, we got camping breakfast going on here. I've tuned up the fire a little bit. Those down, popple tree. Over that way. So here's our breakfast. Pancakes. We have Bisquick, shake and pour. And then we have turkey bacon outside. I choose turkey bacon over regular bacon because it's more healthy. So I'll see you back. Alright guys, welcome back. Decided to go fishing. There's some nasty spiders over here. I don't really want to, not too pumped about that. Hopefully I get fish. I'm trying out the frog again. Hoping that I can get some sort of bass. These northerns are kind of hard to hook with these. I don't like that because I like northerns. I like catching them. I just like every single northern. And my family's caught is really big, so I'm gonna go ahead and reel this in here just because I just tested it out. So I'll see you back when I get a nice fish. Also, there's some turtles sunning over there. If I can, I'll get a picture of them because my dad just took a picture of them with a fancy camera. What's going on over there? So see you back when I get fish. Alright guys, I'm going to tie a new lure here. This dog isn't getting her done. I'm going to tie on spoon. And I'm going to try to get her done that way. So see you back when I tie that spoon on. Alright guys, I got the spoon tied on. Pretty cool here. My favorite color. There it is. Kind of excited one to try this out. Now it's a tangled one. There's another point I want to go off of that doesn't have bees on it. So I don't like bees, and I don't want them to bother me, or I don't want them to be searching around me. So I'm gonna go check that out quick. Alright guys, I don't know if this is the best view, but I got my fishing pole and everything set up out here. So we'll see what really happens. Hopefully we get something, and hopefully we don't get a snag. Here we go guys, we're hooked up. Oh wow, this is a good one. This is a good one. Holy cow. Oh, he's a fighter. I don't know if you guys can see that on the end of my pole, but oh, here we go. Oh, what is he? Oh, it's a northern. Oh, look at this. I brought up a lily pad with him. Alright guys. My dad told me that this would probably work. I thought I would put it on my chatterbait, but I guess the spoon is the ones to get her done. Pretty cool. Let's get this guy all untangled up here. There's a lot of lily pads in it. I know what's going on here. Oh man, oh, he got loose. He's on the rock. Oh, don't want the water. What's going on? Here they are, guys. The northern of the century. Here it is, though. That's a good one. Oh, oh no. All right, let's let him go. Oh, he's staying here. Not sure what he wants. Oh, he's right there. He's still here. All right. All right, let's get her back out there. Maybe we can get another one. It was like 2 casts. And then I got him. Didn't expect that at all. Shake that seaweed off there. All right, let's cast her back out there. That was a good one. See you back when I get another fish. Oh. Alright guys, I'm out here fishing. I decided to put on my night crawler that I picked out a night crawler from my backyard. So hopefully this one gets the big one. Alright guys, there's apparently a fish here. No. Alright guys, we might head home here. I have to say guys, these are world's best peach rings. Even though it says world's best. You know, they are.
That's what I've got out of his stories. Fish.
Here we go. Hooked on guys. Crappie on my night crawler I picked from my backyard. Kind of cool. At least it went to use. Still a little bit of night crawler left. I'm still going to use it until 5:30 when we have to go. Guys, crappie. My dog really wants this crappie. Pretty cool to see that we got a fish there. Probably do a fish fry on here. I got to rehook this guy. Oh, yep, he even fell off. You know, I didn't even poke holes in the container he was in. Crazy that he was still alive when we went to Campin Chronicles, so it's pretty cool to see. Let's get back to it. Alright guys, we're probably going to be packing up here, so I'm going to stop the video. Nice to see that I got that crappie. And that was just about it there. My dad got a nice walleye. See you back for camping. Hey guys, good night time here. Nothing really happened today, so not really a lot of photos and videos. I might leave tomorrow, but there's a pretty big chance I'll probably stay here. A lot of campfire stuff tomorrow. I have a lot of stumps to burn. And listen. There's some really bad people here that have actually been staying up. But I know it's pretty late. Like a long time past quiet hours. And I think the camp officer, I just heard a mountain bike go by. And now music just shut off. So, you know, might just got in trouble there. They've been up for quite a while, making a lot of noise here. Turn the radios on full blast, you know. Not a big fan of that. But I'm gonna get ready for bed, put on the movie screen. I got my dog in here tonight, I'll show you her. Alright guys, so got everything all set up in here, ready to go. I just gotta change it, put the movie screen on. My dog's in there. She, you know, if you cover her up, she's good and she doesn't do anything. You know, she goes to sleep. So, yeah. I'm gonna go to bed now. Alright guys, so good night, and I'll see you in the morning. You know, they turned up the volume an increasingly amount. I'm not really sure why. I don't see need for this. Please be respectful. I think this is Elton John 2025 tour at Birch Lake, Minnesota. Oh my god. I don't think I'll be able to get any sleep.
Alright, it's actually been quite a while now. I know Benny and the Jets is actually quite a long song, so I'm not too pumped to hear this song. Alright guys, I guess I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I actually hear real whistles coming out from over there, so I think somebody's trying to pretend that they're having a concert or something. I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. Hey guys, good morning. It's around 6:45 in the morning right now. Just get ready to wake up. I don't probably gonna be getting up real soon here. I wanted to show you this spider quick. Guys, so here's the spider. A tent. I just don't see why they need to come up with stuff. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll see you guys when I wake up. Nasty one.
Alright guys, I don't know what to put on today. I'm going fishing. Let's see what we have here. Put on the Lindy. Maybe we can put on a nice pink jig. Maybe this would work pretty well right here too. Not really sure. Interesting type jigging food. Maybe this would be the one to get it done. Who knows? Maybe the Johnson hair jigs. I think the one to get her done gonna be the one to get her done. It's gonna be the Mimic Minnow. That's what we're using today. Alright, so let's get this thing in shape here. So use my Rapala fingernail clip first. Alright guys, we're all tied up here. Mimic Minnow. I'll see you out in the boat. Alright guys, so walking down the trail here. I'm not gonna get too close. I'm not gonna risk my life here because I don't know if I'm allergic to wasps. I don't want to be. And I really don't want to find out. But on this tree right here, so you can see some stuff landing around on there. And flying around. I don't like that. And they're all black and white and they're really big. So I'm gonna go ahead and just not mess around with this side of the lake here and get her done somewhere else. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try this fish here. Here it is. A lot of sun glare there. Here it is. It's just, this is crappie. Another crappie. And then this is some sort of walleye, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. So I'll see you back when I try it. Alright, the walleye is 5 out of 5 stars. At least I think this is walleye. Could be a piece of crappie. I'm not really sure. Finish it though. Also, crappie 5 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, that was really good. I finished that in a very short amount of time. Probably about 2 minutes. Alright guys, I'm getting some bratwurst, so I'm going to show that on camera. Alright, so let's get a hot dog gun. I'm going to put fish in my bratwurst. I'm going to put fish in my bratwurst as a cool little mix-up. This one has some cheese coming out of it, so I'm going to put that in there. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and try this. I've already tried a little bit. So, I rate that 5 out of 5 stars. Put a little fish in there. I'll rate that later. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and try the fish on here. So, trying in 3, 2, 1. That's really good. I rate that 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, that's really good. I'll see you back for more camping adventures. Hey guys, just afternoon update, or more like a nightly update. Tried some offshore casting and reeling. Nothing there. We're just burning some stumps and getting ready to make some Jiffy Pop. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, here's our stumps. Right here. Stump. We like burning stumps. They're nice and dry and they work really well to burn. So there's a stump. Then we got plenty of stumps over here. Here's this stump. Here's another stump. Here's another one. And here's another one. There's also another one underneath there. And I'm sure there's several more. But I don't want to go digging around in here because I don't have gloves on. Also, here's another stump I found. But Dad's using it for washing dishes. Alright guys. It's good night time right now. You know, I'm going to bed. You know, I got a fish actually before and then I stopped recording. And literally 5 seconds after, I kid you not, I got a fish. Very melancholy moment right there. I didn't like that at all. I mean, at all, because, you know, it's just an annoying one. I want to catch a fish on the camera, and it always seems like I can't, so I'm going to do some early morning fishing with my spoon, and I'm going to get her done then. And, you know, tomorrow's pack-up time, so I'll probably do lots of videos tomorrow. I'm going to do, like a lot of videos, clean up my tent, getting everything else ready, a good morning video. I've been kind of forgetting to do those for some reason. I don't know, I just feel like I'm not going in depth and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of good that our neighbors aren't going full steep head singing all those songs, you know, but just a crazy night, you know, those light isn't that right. So, good night. I'll see you in the morning. Hey guys, good morning video here. We're getting packed up, getting ready to go. Yeah, we're just getting things going. Had some egg breakfast and then some other stuff. Charged my phone on the generator. I'm riding around on my bike a little bit. Alright guys, on the bike here. Kind of hard to keep camera up while having the bike. Kind of a difficult one. That's okay. Let's head down to this point. Oof, difficult one. Beautiful morning here. Alright guys, it's back on the trail. Here we go. Down here. Holy moly, I don't have brakes. Oh my gosh. No. My brakes came on last minute. Kind of a scary one. Probably shouldn't have gone down that so fast. But that's kind of a scary one. But here's the bass point. I think that's turtle. If you look close enough, you can see turtle. So, kind of cool one. Let's head back to camp. You know, I wanted to do camping sanding. I wasn't able to because there's no sand. But it's kind of an unfortunate one because I like to do camping sandings. I mean a lot because I like camping sandings. And I mean a lot. I don't know if you've ever done a camping sanding, but they're basically where I put the net, dip in sand. I spread it all over the place. It's a good one. Hey guys, you know, we're just packing up here. Here's kind of an after shot. What this is all led to, you know, all tents are gone. This is where my tent was, and this is where my parents' tent was. You can actually see the outline of floor mats and all the other stuff. There's my dog. Then I have fire. Fine. It's kind of a smoldering one. And then I got all my stuff all packed up. My bike is almost all ready to go. You know, kind of a sad one. You know, I was ready to let go and get going. But, you know, I would like to stay out here one more day. Here's where we put the boat in. Seems to be a bird in that tree over there. I'm going to pause the break so I can check that bird. There's a song sparrow in there. I'm not sure if you can see him. Somewhere in there. You can see him fluttering around in there a little bit. I like song sparrows a lot. They're kind of cool. Nasty mayfly. He went away. That's a cool bird. I like that bird a lot. Anyways, back to camp telling stories. You know, I just like this camp spot, and I like this camping trip. You know, it was kind of a struggle from going on a road trip for so long, and you know, in the end, I think it was worth it because we got the best spot in the entire world. That's what I believe. We're just packing up everything. I forgot this was on Zoom also. I'm gonna check out other point to see if there's another bird, because I like birds a lot. They're kind of cute. You know, I really hope you watch this entire Campin Chronicles series. I know there wasn't a lot of footage, as there should have been, and it was still a decent amount of length. In fact, it upgraded in length. Oh, mayflies everywhere. I don't like mayflies when they go on me, but I like picking them up sometimes and bringing them all over the place. Here's the lake. And there's the sun. You know, when I was offshore casting and reeling, I hooked into that, and then I started bringing it in. Fortunately, I got my lure back. Oh, look. Even more pretty guys. This is why you should stay to the end right here. Cool stuff like that happens. That's a cute one. I like that butterfly a lot. He's a cool one. You know, you see a lot more wildlife than you probably do in your backyard. You know, if you have neighbors that spray chemicals, you probably won't get butterflies or bees. So if you want those, you might have to ask them. There he goes. You might have to ask them to not spray pesticides all over the place to get rid of dandelions. You know, the weed killer, you know, they advertise it as safe, but it really isn't. If you think about it, it really isn't. Because, you know, there's so many, like, diseases and everything just linked to that. And, you know, I'm not sure what it's called. There's a disease that starts with L. It's like lymphedema. I don't think it's that, but it's something similar to that. But, you know, you probably just shouldn't spray pesticides, because neighbors can get sick, other people can get sick, you can get sick, dandelions get sick and then they die, and so do birds and others just wildlife. So see you in the truck. Look at this. I can't see them now, but there's some ducks over there. Also, I think Grackle flew in. That's a cool bird sound. I'll see you in the truck. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this camping trip as much as I did. I'll see you back for another video. Enjoy.